Hello and welcome back to Game Brigade. I'm your host, Brian, and on this show we do reviews, previews, playthroughs, and have conversations about our favorite board games. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Today on the show, we're going to be doing another Kickstarter review. Actually, I don't want to know if I call them reviews. They're more of a should you back or is it worth backing series. We do these series every once in a while whenever we have a Kickstarter that's worth taking a deep dive into. Today is Darwin's Journey. So if you're new to the show, if this sounds like something that might be interesting to you, please consider subscribing and helping us grow. We still have our Oath Sworn giveaway going on for the $99 pledge level. This is the second copy that we're going to be giving away. So if you're interested in that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below following the comment guidelines. We'll have more information about that later in the video. So before we get too far into rambling, let's just cut on over to Darwin's Journey. So this is technically day 2 of the campaign. We have 21 days to go. We're at 4,826 backers, and we're just shy of that $400,000 mark. Darwin's Journey is by ThunderGryph Games, and this is actually the second game that I'll be covering for them, or covering about them, I guess from them, whatever, on this channel. So up front, I usually like these kind of games in terms of like aesthetic pleasing Euro games that have upgraded tokens and meeples and whatnot. This game definitely has that, and there are 2 different versions of this game you can buy. You've got the base copy, which I would consider almost the retail, and then you've got the deluxeified edition. Now, they don't specifically say here in the campaign page if the deluxe copy will be going to retail. They kick around the bush a little bit, but for sure you can see the retail version, this $45 base game, most likely be at a retail location. So when we're going into these conversations, whether or not we should be backing a game or not, generally what we like to look for is availability. Is this a Kickstarter exclusive? And if it's not a Kickstarter exclusive, it's going to be a retail copy. What kind of incentives are they giving to you as a backer? Are you going to be getting any of those Kickstarter exclusives by backing this, by supporting this company? From what I can see, looking at the campaign, at least in terms of stretch goals, unless they're the deluxe version, I don't believe that there are any exclusive components. Now that could change. The campaign obviously has 21 days to complete, and obviously we have seen campaigns who don't have exclusives up front and eventually do come to that, some sort of incentive for backers. So what is Darwin's Journey? Well, Darwin's Journey is going to be a retelling of Darwin's travels through the Galapagos Islands, and it's a Euro worker placement game. And I would base it, based on the videos that I've seen and those, the research I've done, as a medium to medium heavy weighted Euro. There are going to be a lot of, here's the board, there are a lot of different areas for you to take your workers, and it's a worker placement Euro game, to do specific actions. You have all of these diary sections up here. You also have the seals section here. You've got locations over here, as well as the museum over here. And then you've got the bottom board here, which is also going to be placing an explorer to travel around the islands. So there's a lot going on here. And so for people who are looking at this game, if this is something you're going to be interested in, one of the biggest concerns that I would have with this one is be aware that I believe this game, especially even at 2 players, has the tendency to play longer than you'd like. Generally, games, have the more players you add more complexity or more length. Sometimes it's like plus 30 minutes per player. But this one seems to be like it's holding around that 90-minute to 120-minute time length, regardless of the player count. So just be aware of that. And with any game that has this many different actions, and especially actions which penalize you for taking an action another player's already selected that round, will have a analysis paralysis like feelings. And this is, I haven't played this game, but this is just my interpretation of playing Euros, especially medium to heavyweight Euros, where I have generally seen things work out. I do like the aesthetic look of the game, and watching several playthroughs from other creators, the game to me makes sense in terms of the actions you're doing and the combos that you're able to achieve. I think everything is pretty well fleshed out and balanced. I just think that it can be a little bit intimidating depending on the type of player that you are, because there is a lot of information, data overflow here on this base board. So with this game, we are going to be getting a lot of wooden meeples. I love wooden meeples if they are done well. So you're going to get explorers, workers, tents, and these are all going to be having upgrades done to them. So in the stretch goals, they've already basically indicated, like expressed, that these are going to have upgraded feelings to them. We also have these wax seals, which go in correspondence with some of these workers or crew members, I guess you would say, that go with you. And then you have the different types of creatures that you can discover in the fossils, or the different types of things you can discover on the board to go to the museum. So what I liked about the gameplay that I saw from creators here is the different types of combos that you can trigger through this game to enable you to do bonus action after action after action, to kind of, if you set up your play enough, you could really do some interesting fun stuff. And I like games that reward you for pre-planning so that you can combo it. There are games that give you benefits for small combos, but I like a game that really wants you to utilize the pieces that are given to you, especially when they are limited resources, and say, okay, there are the ability to combo. It just is going to take a little bit longer for you to get there. So the second copy, so like I said, there's two different pledge levels. You've got the base pledge, which we just kind of covered here. The second one is the collector's edition. So this is 70 euros. The 70 euro Kickstarter bundle here will also come with a free expansion as well as upgrades to all the components. So obviously we're going to get some metal coins in two different currencies here. You're going to get soft wax seals to replace the cardboard ones that were up here, right here, which I think is a really cool upgrade. I think these wax seals are cool, but the plastic soft wax, I think that's really going to be a nice aesthetic. We got a stand-up bag for these to be held into. And then we're going to be unlocking all the stretch goals that we've already, discussed. What I also like in terms of value, so we're looking here at that $45 to the $70, you're going to be getting the Darwin's Journey Fireland expansion for free in the deluxe edition. So not only are you getting these upgrades here, you're also making a free expansion. And ThunderGryph usually likes to do two different things. They like to have branching stretch goals. You've got the base game stretch goal, plus you got the deluxe edition stretch goal. So by being in the deluxe edition, you're obviously going to be taking advantage of multiple new stretch goals. So here are some additional stuff. I really like this heat transfer here on these wooden tokens. That'll look really cool depending on the foil finish and how well that looks. So I want to stroll on down here though to the stretch goals they've already kind of unlocked to kind of show you kind of where we're at. So some of these were pretty cool. The wooden evolution token, the books. Here's what I was referring to. So these are base game stretch goals. So you see there's a red seal here. So you can see they've done an age to finish to all the tokens. I'm curious how this will look when this is all said and done. But I think it's kind of a neat little, touch, especially to the aesthetics of this game. And if you come on down here, you'll see this is a gold seal to show that this is now for the deluxe edition. So you get some more stuff, more content, more crew. So if you were to ask me what would I recommend backing, it's hard because the same thing happened with the last game, ThunderGryph. I think these guys make a very strong argument. We're going to come back to me over here. They make a very strong argument for backing the deluxeified edition. When we look at their previous sales of previous games in terms of the deluxeified edition versus the base game, they're basically covering themselves, if not making you more money. But whenever I'm backing a game, if there are no Kickstarter exclusives, I want to make sure that I'm at least protecting myself in my investment. And I'm not going to be losing too much money. Am I sacrificing $30, $40, $50 in this game? The deluxeified version of these games from ThunderGryph generally has maintained its value after the Kickstarter has released, and usually goes on for a while. So I'm not too concerned with myself with backing this at the Deluxeified edition. The biggest concern again that I have is, is this going to be too complex of a Euro, comparatively to say like my Lacerda games, where it's going to be difficult for me to get this to the table enough to enjoy the game. You can see down here they do say 30 minutes per player, but I've seen this not being as true as possible. I've seen this being a little longer, so just be aware of that. So is the weight of this game, oh actually you can't even see it because I'm on the screen with my face, but anyways, I guess I can show you real quick. We'll fade down here, right there. Okay, back to me. Okay, so as I was saying, if I were to recommend this game for myself, it's going to be based on the player group that I currently have, and will I expect to get this game to the table relatively easily. And because it's more of a heavy, medium weight Euro, I think it puts a little bit of a pause for me, especially when I'm considering, the $100 backing, if you include the $15 shipping cost. So make sure that would be my biggest concern for this one, is that while I do think this is a safe back, and I think this will be a good back, and it'll be a great addition to any collection, I definitely don't have any Darwin's Journey like games in my current collection following this specific type of theme. I do think there are questions in terms of how heavy would this be, and how often will I get this to the table versus some of my other heavier Euro games that I really enjoy. So I'm currently not backing, but I'm considering it. And I'm very curious to see how these stretch goals play out, and to see if anything changes in regards to the campaign. They are offering a few, we can actually go back here. They are offering a few additional purchases down here. The Darwin mini expansion, as well as the, I think that was the only one I really wanted to talk about, was this Darwin mini expansion. Some of these expansions here, I don't think are necessary. And personally, I mean, it's only $5. They're obviously putting it at a very low cost here, but I don't think things like this are going to be necessarily needed with the amount of content I'm already seeing with this game. And especially if you're getting the deluxe edition, you're already getting that Firelands expansion for free. So I think that will wrap up my video for Darwin's Journey. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys to kind of, get some second opinions regarding the content of Darwin's Journey, to see if it's worth backing. I do think it's a safe back. I think that the game looks interesting and looks pretty fun, but I do think it's a little heavier. So make sure you're aware of that, and kind of do a temperature gauge of your current player group. Will you be able to get this to the table? If you do think you're going to, I think this will be a safe back for you guys. So anyways, for the comment to leave down below, we're going to do that hashtag Darwin's Journey, making it so easy for you guys. It's like you can basically guess from the beginning what it's going to be. I appreciate you guys staying to the end and watching the show. If you really want to support us, make sure you hit that like button. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you hit that like button. Now we'll see how many people watched till the end. I will talk to you all very soon. Have a great day, and remember, Happy New Year.